Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we are currently in the interesting situation of having money for once. It feels really weird. Let's double check here. Yeah, our cicada is going to need some work. We do know that. So we need an engine core, an engine XL was in there, but we're probably not going to be able to do an extra light engine, realistically. Let's see. We've got an engine core 250, but it's an engine core 320 that we ended up losing, which definitely hurts. So if we were to mount the engine core 250, then we would be missing what exactly? Yeah, it's carrying ammo that it can't use with the UAC-5. I'm well aware of that. We actually have the money to be able to do this now. Maybe we go for ferrofibrous? Yeah, I think we go for ferrofibrous for this particular mech. We've mounted in the engine, and we need, I believe, a cooling solution. Standard heatsink cooling. Okay, so if we were to confirm this, which I'm not going to do just yet, I want to confirm this and check heatsink and lower leg actuator. Okay. So the engine heatsink is also apparently having issues. I think that's because we lost the heatsink kit. We need ourselves a heatsink kit for this. Which I was under the impression the SAH wow. Words are apparently very difficult right now. The SHS cooling was, but apparently that is not. That is the cooling system as opposed to the engine heat sinks. Okay, so I don't think that we have what we need to actually repair the cicada currently. So that's okay. We could get the Clint repaired, in theory. That costed, what, like 300k? So essentially we do that. We would put in the engine 250 to replace the engine 240, like so. Okay. Now we've got this cooling here, which we would be able to put the SHS cooling into, in theory. Is this engine heatsink broken? Yes, it is. Okay, so I don't think we can get the Clint ready to go either. That's fine. I do want to get some mech warriors trained here. So let's see here. Interesting.
I hear ya. Yeah. Yes,
This must be a change in the latest RogueTech patch that we can train them while they're out. I like it. That's a good thing.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Waiting on you, Commander.
So we'll grab a point of gunnery there. Freak Show is fine the way he is. HBFT, I would like to get maxed out to there.
Standing by.
Excellent. We'll grab a point of gunnery for Pathfinder,
Awaiting orders.
as well as for Sketchy.
Training confirmed, Commander.
Orders?
For Striker, I think we'll save the XP for this point of gunnery.
Good to go.
For Sumo, we'll also save the XP. I'm not entirely sure what we want to give him yet. Okay, so how many mechs do we have currently active? 1 is the answer. We can get 2 more back. So, we really do need to get that cicada online. We can repair the gyro. We're going to have to remove the Ultra AC5, this medium laser. We may as well take off the case and the ammo UAC5 for right now. And then I just want to do it like this for the moment. We would mount in this engine core. The engine XL would be removed, just to be a regular engine. And then the engine heatsink would, of course, go in... This is a standard fusion engine. Hang on. Okay, that would go there. The standard heatsink would go here. We still need that engine heatsink. How much would one of those cost if there's one available? About 300k for the cheapest one? We'll grab it. I'm not happy about it, but we'll grab it. So then we mount the engine heatsink here. We hit that repair button, like that. Okay, so we have 10 tons remaining, and then in theory, I'm pretty sure this will be fully functional. We've got a ballistic hardpoint over here. I don't think we have any sniper ammo. How much would sniper ammo cost if there is some of that in the store? We've got mortar ammo. 40 shots. That's an interesting option, to be sure. Alternately, we could turn this into more of a almost missile boat. We've only got one missile hardpoint. LRM 20. What could go wrong? No. I mean, as resistance to AMS, we do have Arrow 4 ammo. Or we don't? Okay, we don't. This is double ammo. FTL missiles. Follow the leader, okay. VTOL accuracy. And swarm. For a 30-meter AoE. Okay, interesting options. This would, of course, mean that we're not going to get much for armor. I think we're going to not run a missile boat here. And instead, I mean, we do have another Ultra AC-5. This is going to be substantially slower of a mech. So I kind of don't want to run that. This is a battle armor laser? Okay. I do wish I knew what type of ammo this used. Oh, that's way too much weight. Okay, good to know. I mean, we could simply mount a machine gun over here. And then we've got 3 laser hardpoints. We have a small pulse laser mounted here right now. We could mount simply a pair of mediums, like this, and then this SRM-4 that we happen to have, along with, say, 2 tons of SRM ammo. We'd need to put this case back in, and then we would also need... Let's see, this is tracer ammunition for +1 accuracy. Something like this, and then Maxis armor. Kind of like that. This thing is going to be substantially slower. So maybe we ditch the machine gun and add the extra 1.5 tons of armor. Yeah, I think that's the better option. Has too many internal heat sinks. We have 10 free heat sinks, apparently. And an additional 1 out of 0. I was under the impression We don't have any extra heat sinks on this thing. There's too many internal heat sinks. So you're telling me that we can't use this engine heatsink? Huh. I'm gonna confirm this and see what ends up happening.
Right. I'll get it in the schedule.
We'll see. Now then, if we were to do the cicada first, that would be 1 day after the financial report. Okay. Do we have a nice and simple mission that we could do with 3 mechs? Because I would like to make a little bit more money here.
Doing ops, Commander.
This is a half-skull battle. A secondary lance of mechs, but it's only half a skull. There is this Lyran Commonwealth one, but it doesn't pay as well. I think we'll negotiate this one. And we'll see how this ends up going. We can't currently field any of our other mechs, so this is pretty much what we've got. Which is going to be a little bit on the painful side, to be sure. But I think this should be capable of dealing with a half-skull mission. So let's just see if we can get ourselves some money, because I really want to be building up towards getting that additional mech bay so that we can be working on 2 mechs at once. That is a huge deal. Granted, the second mech is at 50% efficiency, but even so, that's a 50% increase in how quickly we can get our mechs repaired. That is unfathomably huge. But it's also very expensive. But we need to destroy the enemy forces. A Russellhugian leader has fallen behind on payments for their armored vehicles, and our leasing agent has been unable to repossess the heavily armored vehicles. We've decided that sending a more explosive message is the best way to ensure that others do not take future liberties. Commander, they also mentioned that the target vehicles are currently on deployment with a secondary lance of mechs. You can optionally destroy them as well, and there's a bonus. Okay, so we are only deploying 3 mechs right now. Target vehicles have been detected in this area. Keep an eye out for enemy mechs as well.
This climate won't help with dispersal.
I'm just trying to see how we can get down all the way over here. Oh my. That's going to be exciting.
Location confirmed.
Like, we dropped in a really bad point. We saw a mech over here, but it's not on sensors. Okay, there's a Stinger over here. We're going to reserve.
Heads up, Commander. You've got hostile contacts inbound.
Okay, that's a Wasp.
Waiting for the shot.
So we see 2 Stingers and a Wasp. And it's not a land air mech. Okay. So they closed in on us a little bit, which was exactly what I was hoping they would do. Oh, there's also an Oss Scout over there. So we are extremely heavily outnumbered.
Commander?
And I wouldn't even necessarily say that we are outgunning them. But maybe, just maybe, we can crack through this armor quickly.
Copy that.
Okay, 20 damage dealt. That's something. There's a Mantis over there. We want to avoid these vehicles over here, if at all possible, and just let them fire from range and burn through their LRMs. That would be the idea.
What do you need?
I need you to sprint forward. Fire on this Stinger.
Acknowledge.
Okay. We took out the left arm.
Nice. Got past the armor.
That is a pretty big deal. I'm going to pull the flea over here.
Aye, aye.
We're going to take a pot shot at this stinger. We can't fire this ER large laser too much,
Affirmative.
but that was really good. Okay. That stinger is definitely hurting.
Awaiting orders.
Let's close in a bit with the javelin.
Copy that.
Light him up.
Give them everything I've got.
Okay, there's that torso destroyed.
Target's taking a critical hit.
They're moving the wasp. That is intriguing. Now the Oscout. And they missed the javelin. That's ideal. One damage. We can deal with that. Five damage to the hatchetman. Acceptable. Okay.
Commander.
The flea is now going to pull back somewhere. I was hoping to get 2 evasive pips. It would appear that is not going to be an option.
Copy that.
So we'll just go for the 1. We're going to continue focusing the stinger where possible. This does give us an overheat alert. We'll have to not fire next turn, but we'll take these odds. It's just a pot shot, though. Yeah, I'm not surprised that we missed.
Negative damage.
Okay. That flea loadout is really bad, but we need to work on it.
Yeah?
So the hatchetman is going to step forward here, and I kind of want to sprint into this cover.
Going full throttle.
Like so. Unfortunately, we can't hit the stinger from here. So we will have to shoot at the Oscout and hope for stray shots. Okay. Not ideal. The stinger stepped forward and fired on the javelin. That kind of is ideal for us. And I do see this helicopter approaching.
Aye,
Okay.
aye.
Sketchy. Back off to here. Actually. Yeah, it's got to be to here. I kind of hate this. Because it's almost exposing the rear of the javelin. But they'll have to get all the way over here. So I think it's acceptable.
Firing at full salvo.
Okay. That wasp is closing in, but it's still a ways out. The flea is not really capable of doing anything this turn. We're just going to sink heat. The Oscout moves in, and point blank fires on the hatchetman.
Come on. Send me a real mech warrior.
And the hatchetman is just going to step forward over here. We are not going to melee this turn. We are going to fire on the stinger. We have no chance of ammo explosion. We may stray shot the Oscout a little bit, but I want this stinger dead.
Let her rip.
Didn't kill it.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sad. Very sad. Okay, there's a Drillson over there. That's fine. Completely acceptable. We've got a melee attack from the stinger on our hatchetman. 12. Okay. We can deal with 12 damage.
They think they can hurt me?
That mantis is closing in and does need to be killed. I don't think it did any damage. The stinger is going to melee our flea. We were braced. Okay. So, we need to deal with a couple of things. This mantis.
Standing by.
What are our hit odds currently on the mantis? 23%. Okay. What is the weak side on this guy? We are on weak side. So then the idea would be we turn over this way, and we go for the stinger. Very probable that we kill it here. Fantastic.
Enemy down.
Okay. Their stinger backed off and fired on the flea.
I'm gonna need a medic.
It did very little damage, but there was a cockpit hit on one of those machine gun rounds. That wasp is closing in. 240 armor versus 360. Okay. The mantis actually backed off.
Yep.
That is kind of ideal. We could hypothetically jump and face like that, or perhaps like this. Or we could melee and sink heat. Which I feel like meleeing and sinking heat might be the better option here. And then we can leave our 2 lights to deal with the stinger.
Targeting for physical attack.
We miss? That's really unfortunate. Okay, no damage dealt from that LRM. That is ideal. The Oscout is on fire, and it missed the flea. Okay.
Good to go.
So the flea is going to back off over here,
On my way.
and we're going to continue to focus on this stinger. This is the Oscout here, this is the stinger. Ideal.
I copy.
Sad.
That's a miss.
Okay.
Commander.
Well, the Javelin can actually get back around these guys in their rear arc. Something like this.
Roger that.
And fire on the rear arc of the Stinger. That's only 50 HP in the CT. This could be a kill shot. We destroyed a heat sink,
Reporting critical hit.
which is fine. That Wasp is continuing to close in, but it's still at least 1 round away. The Oscout is trying to backstab
Getting the
us
angle on
now.
me.
It did not succeed. Okay. The Mantis closes back in. Fires on the Hatchetman, does some damage.
My armor's melting off.
Yeah, you're fine. Now the Stinger is also trying to backstab the Javelin. I think it damaged its friend, though, and not
Barely
us.
hit, Commander.
I find that acceptable. The Drillson is closing in and firing on the Hatchetman. We took 4 total damage.
Oh, they don't like me at all.
I'm fine with this.
Aye, aye.
Okay, so I'm going to take the Hatchetman over this way. And this is the Stinger here. 30 frontal armor. Perhaps we should move here instead.
Understood.
Okay, light up that Stinger.
Okay, I'm on it.
Not ideal in terms of frontal damage, but it'll have to do. We'll take the Flea over to here. We can't fire this round because of heat. And this is the reason why the Flea is not ideal. We do see that there's an SRM boat over there, which
Standing
is
by.
going to be interesting. We'll get over here and get turned around. And we'll fire on the Stinger again. Once again, this could be a kill shot.
Targeting for an alpha strike.
We destroyed the heat sink there.
That's gonna hurt.
But sadly, we didn't take out any torso. Okay, the Oss Scout moved over here and is trying to attack the Hatchetman. It did fail. But that gives us an interesting opportunity. That opportunity, of course, is in attacking the Oss Scout in the rear with a melee attack. Okay, I don't think the flea took any damage there.
Minimal damage on that hit.
That Drillson is also closing in. No damage to the Javelin. Perfect. So the Stinger is basically in a kill position for sure.
I'm here.
But the Oss Scout, we could definitely move in behind. Let's see, rear arc would be over here? Yes. It's not going to be a kill shot, but we could potentially do a lot of damage to the Oss Scout.
Position confirmed.
Okay. Where did we hit? In the CT. That's ideal.
Yes, Commander.
We're going to take our flea up over this way where we don't have flames on the way.
Move order received.
And this could kill shot. This will overheat us, but that's fine.
Roger that.
Sad. Okay. Well, it is our turn still, but it is also time to put a cut in here, and we are nowhere near finishing this particular battle, so I'm going to go ahead and put that cut in here, and next episode, we are going to see if we get out of this relatively unscathed. You can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and I will see you all next time.